Other interesting business news, you have Volkswagen promising buttons and knobs are coming back. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Adriano Padiano over at Motor1.com. And they say, quote, Volkswagen swears buttons and knobs are coming back. Finally, some common sense, unquote. And here you can see the visually disgusting interior of a Volkswagen vehicle, which has two ginormous iPad-like screens and like one scroll bar button and maybe 4 total buttons. And the steering wheel, which, yeah, can't help but wonder how much of a pain in the ass that's going to be when inevitably there's a software issue or the screens break. Now, going to the article, they say, quote, Volkswagen interiors reached their peak in the mid-2010s when the cars had just the right amount of blend of buttons and screens. At the turn of the decade, minimalism really scared the ugly head of Volkswagen as Volkswagen decided it was a good idea to integrate access to most functions into the screen. Ugh. The dreaded touch slider, which wasn't even illuminated at first, certainly didn't help either. Still, we're waiting to give VW a pass if it stays true to its pledge to bring back physical controls, which, of all the things I don't like about my Honda Civic, which is a short list, I hate the fact that they are so mentally vacuous that the volume adjustment on the main infotainment screen is a scroll and awkward as hell. They knew they messed up because in 2019 Honda Civic, that does have a volume knob. Every year, Honda Civic after 2018 brought back the volume knob. That's the one pet peeve I have about my car, even though there's a actual physical button for the volume on the steering wheel. But yeah, Volkswagen is not alone in the thought of let's just put everything in these screens. And again, there's also cost advantages because physical buttons, that's more complexity, more cost, and more things that can break, as opposed to you put everything in a little computer, and everything in a little screen. And there's one point of failure, which is also a little bit more risk as well. Now, they say that, quote, the company's head of technological development told Autocar that a new dashboard design is in the works to rectify past mistakes. Kai Gruns explained that the upcoming updates for the ID3 and ID4 will introduce a revamped interior with a focus on a traditional switchgear. The ID2 all-concept previewed at VW's new approach, and while it's a step in the right direction, we're still craving for the layout used in the Golf MK7, which scroll down, you can see that here, which that does look pretty good. Ugh, except for that disgusting thing in the middle of the car known as a automatic transmission. Ugh, so disappointing. It's a Golf. How dare they have an automatic transmission with like 2 pedals? But again, that's just me. They note that Gruns isn't the first high-ranking VW official to promise a return to old-school controls. Not long ago, design boss Adrias Mint shared details about the future interior direction. He said, quote, starting with the ID2 All, every model will have physical buttons for the 5 most important functions: volume, heating for both sides, fan control, and hazard lights positioned beneath the screen. These will be the standard across all VW future vehicles. Mint even went a step further to say that, quote, VW will never, ever make the mistake anymore. On the steering wheel, we will have physical buttons, no guessing anymore. There's feedback, there's real, and people love this. Honestly, it's a car, not a phone. Oh, here you can see one of those. Just when you think that automatic transmission gear selector is viscerally disgusting, which it's just a stick with a button on it, you move, they went even dumber, which also kind of reminds me of, what was it? The age-old, well, it's become a classic nowadays, but Tropic Thunder. Never go full R word. Which, yeah, this vehicle looks like they have the transmission selector as a turn knob, which, God, Stellantis and Dodge do the same stupid thing, which I find peak mentally vacuousness, if that is a word. If it is, we just made it right now. Kind of like Shakespeare up in here making up words, but nevertheless. They say that according to Autocar, an insider has confirmed that a rotary knob for volume control will return to future models. Good. That same source indirectly admitted that eliminating conventional switchgear had been a misstep. They say, quote, if you develop something that works and it has worked for years, there's no reason to replace it. They say, unquote, yet VW did just that by attempting to fix what wasn't broken. While EVs will lead the charge, combustion engine cars are also expected to reintroduce physical buttons. Realistically, through future VW's probability, won't offer many tactile controls as the previous generation Golf. Still, there's a reason for optimism. The facelifted MK8 Golf already features real buttons on the steering wheel for the GTI and R. In Europe, the GTR trim also ditched capacitive touch keys with the arrival of the MK 8.5. Hopefully, these long overdue return to traditional controls will rub off onto sister models from Skoda, Audi, and the rest of the VW gang. First 3 models with the updated interior are set to land in 2026. The production-ready ID2 and facelifted versions of the ID3 and ID4. So, yep, it'll be nice to see these things actually come back. Now, my concern is, will Volkswagen be around much longer? The CFO famously said about 12 months ago that VW has about 24 months of viability before it's no longer profitable. Now, again, that's VW specifically, not the VW group or Volkswagen group, which that group also has much more profitable, awesome things like Porsche, Audi, Bugatti, Bugatti, Lamborghini. They got a pretty good portfolio, and ironically, the Volkswagen one is actually the weakest of the bunch. So it's nice to see some physical buttons coming back. And let me know, is that a pet peeve of yours? Do you actually, I mean, heaven forbid, out of curiosity, does anyone out there actually prefer to have only the tablet for all your things? I kind of think one of the dumbest things was also, I believe this is Stellantis. Now, they actually almost hid the heated seat features, which is probably one of the few modern luxuries I enjoy, though one could argue it's not that modern since Cadillac was the first company to do that, I believe, in the 1960s. But nevertheless, it's an instance where you get to the heated seats, you have to go to a menu and a menu in the touchscreen. Or again, anyone with a modicum of intelligence would say, if you want heated seats, just jam one button one time, which I kind of love my Honda Civic Si. So let me know, are you one of the folks who prefer the physical buttons, or do you prefer the tablet? And do you think we'll see a trend or a ripple effect in the automotive community with more and more of them pivoting back to traditional buttons? Let me know your thoughts and comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say today. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to tune in, especially on 4th of July. And again, I want to say thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. I was going to say, any feedback is always greatly appreciated. Leave a comment, and it might take me a little while, but I always take the time to respond. Don't forget to take the time to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And as always, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.